Welcome back to Torment. With the endless gate taken care of, there's really only one place for me to go here, and that's
I'm ready.
the tomb of the first cast-off. You try to remember the codes to any important locations you're aware of. Oh, I could have done this to do... I thought pressing that was going to bring me to the first cast out, so I could have done this instead of actually punching in the numbers. Oh. You press the buttons 3, 4, 3, 1. The code Matkina gave you. As you press each button, a symbol illuminates on a surrounding hex. When the fourth hexagon illuminates, a field of energy forms around you, and you feel the same tight, sucking sensation at your gut. Can't interact with any of these statues, but there's this awesome looking mural. I don't know if this is a door or just a wall.
Fine. Making a note.
Stark letters have been carved into the rock above. With a steady hand, sharp memories emerge at the sight of the masked figure in the tableau. The first cast-off. Countless footsteps have worn a track to, and apparently into, this mural. This is a gateway of some kind, but you can see no way of opening it. What is this? Makina puts her hand up against the wall, searching for something. Someone closed the portal from the other side. I don't know how to wake it back up. Why would they lock us all out? The sorrow? Could it be? You look around the area. Maybe examining the environment will give you some sort of clue. Oddly, many of the words above are completely unreadable. It's not that they're in a language you don't understand. It's truth, and you recognize every letter. Every time you try to put it all together, the meaning slips from your mind. Maybe that part of the epitaph isn't meant for you. Your eye skips to the end of the message. She serves us still. She spits on the ground beside her feet. Come on, we need to get in there.
Look out!
That's just a wall again. Yeah. But that mask looking thing might be its own
Like a whisper.
object.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
These statues are all of the same person, the first cast-off, presumably. Each of them wears a different mask.
All right.
Oh, yeah, there's something right there.
Yes.
A bewildering array of colliding, jagged edges and mangled corpses make up this frieze. It's not quite clear whether the artist was inspired, drunk, or insane. The battlefield is depicted here, that much is certain, but the amount of detail is staggering, and it isn't immediately apparent what the artist was trying to convey. The first detail you notice is the fortress, standing out from the wall in bold relief. Many of the soldiers shown are pouring through the sundered gates, and every one of their faces shows a different emotion: elation, rage, terror. But it is the jagged edges, seemingly raised at random, that pull your attention down to the bottom right of the piece. There lies the first cast-off of the changing god, mortally wounded, dying alone as divergent realities snap shut around her like teeth. Her voice is contemplative. I love this piece. Last time I came back to Miel Avest, I stood here for an hour. I like to think that she's suffering as much as she caused Meng to suffer. More. Was that what actually happened now, though? Doesn't matter. It happened in some reality. Why do you still harbor the hate? I worry that it poisons you. She shrugs. It might. But when the only family you ever knew gets slaughtered in front of you, I invite you to take the long view. Practice some forgiveness. Pretend that the people who did it had good reasons for it. Valid point there, Makina. She crosses her arms. Lecture all you want. I'm still laughing about her death, even after all these years.
Ready.
The carvings here display two figures standing side by side on a crag overlooking a plateau with a wide disc at its center. The scene is familiar. A wave of dizziness envelops you and you steady yourself against the rough stone. This does not help. The memory flows out through the stone in rumbling pulses, overtaking your senses. Yes, this scene is familiar because you experienced it firsthand when you rebuilt your mind in the labyrinth. And now, here, the full memory awaits you. Let's do it. The memory of that long day pours past you, cold as melting snow. You direct the first cast-off's gaze toward the resource-rich plateau where Miel Avest will one day stand. You ignore the laughter in her eyes when your own constructs turn on you and make the necessary repairs. And then, the rush of time slows as she makes her way up a moss-hung path toward you, her eyes bright behind the mask. I have something to show you, she says. You follow her to a deactivated portal. I've got it working, she says. The doorway exists in two places at once, here and on the other side, once you align them. She lays her hands and forehead against the stone, as though worshipping the thing. Your lip curls involuntarily, but you can't fault the results. The portal activates, answering the welling glow of the first cast-off's tattoo beneath her mask. The flood of memory slows to a trickle, leaving you back in your body. You look over at the mural. Could that be the way to open the portal? I will try. Let me look at this first. This crease appears to have been defaced. There are two figures facing each other in anger, but it's impossible to make out any more than that.
Go.
Let's give it a shot. Put your forehead against the door, like you saw the first doing in your memory. You lay your hands on the cold stone as the first cast-off once did, and press your forehead against the mural. The skin around your tattoo crawls, then burns. But even with your eyes clenched shut, you feel the air of the tomb stirring. Oh yeah, we're in!
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to level up before. Patch reckon. This woman is dressed in functional glazed clothing. Her hair is cut short, and her face is muscular and tense. You recognize her instantly from Tasha's mare, Paj reckon. She spares you but a moment's appraising glance before turning to your companion. Natkina, you've come crawling back. Didn't you swear you'd never return here? Or had you forgotten? I did promise. Then I remembered that none of you had ever bothered keeping your vows to me. So what's the point? Anyway, what have you been up to? Burning a few villages full of innocent civilians? Or have you graduated to grander atrocities? I'd kill her right here if I thought I could get away with it. Another time. Just trying to keep our creator, the coward, from committing any more of his war crimes as usual. Looking at the larger picture instead of serving my own self-interest. Maybe someday you'll learn how to do that. Though considering your friend here just muscled his way through the locked portal, making our sanctuary even more vulnerable to the sorrow, I don't think it's likely. She turns to you. You know you're traveling with a traitor, right? You can read no thoughts from her. They're muffled, as though something were interfering with them. I know you. I know what you did in Cohen Village. Oh, Nakina told you. What a surprise. She's generally so quiet about her feelings. She adjusts her sword belt. Cohen was a pity, a tragedy, but it had to happen that way. I've been a warrior for most of my centuries. I know about making sacrifices in service of a higher ideal. I've stopped losing sleep over them. Live long enough, and you'll understand. Sacrifices? Some might call them war crimes. You a monster. Those people haven't had to deal with my problems, and if some call me a monster, what of it? Most who care about these things are mortal. They'll be dead in a few years, and I'll still be living. What does their opinion matter then? We told Matkina that centuries ago, and still she whines about her mortal friends. We're mortal too, Patch. Or had you forgotten the first? In fact, weren't you responsible for that Harridan's death? Her eyes narrow. She pulls her blade halfway out of its sheath and pauses. The muscles of her face twitch and she's biting hard on the cheek. She shoves the blade back down. If it weren't for Adiri's peace, I'd kill you right now. She spits a mouthful of blood at Matkina's boots. You don't know anything about friendship, Matkina. You don't know what it costs. Does it cost the Village of Innocence? Do you realize what we lost that night? Do you realize what we gained? You weren't there. You've never even met me before. But you think to judge my actions of 200 years ago? The stakes here are more important than a few monsters. We're fighting for our survival, damned infant. I won't let you moralize at me while I'm trying to save your life. That's almost the same speech you gave me then. Glad to see you're consistent. She holds up a hand. No, sorry, I'm done. Please ask Paj your questions. See if you get any answers. I ran into Barricade. She said she had a message for you but couldn't get in. Well, how very useful of you. Next time I want someone informed that I have a message for them but cannot send it, I know just who I'll come to. She gives you the most patronizing smile you've ever seen. It's like she's practiced. You called Matkina a traitor. Why? Oh, didn't she tell you? She used to be under my command, but she turned on me, preferring to befriend monsters in human skin. And rather than step aside for the greater good, she attacked her fellow fighters. Tell me, what would you call someone who turns on her own? Actually, never mind. I don't care. What crimes has her creator committed? Do you want the full litany? Ask someone else, because I haven't got the year to spare. The worst one is that he had plans to kill us, to sacrifice us to save his life. The first found out and took a stand to stop him. But she's dead now. We're stuck with me commanding in her memory. And meanwhile, sycophants and lickspittles work for him for the privilege of being destroyed. For some incomprehensible reason, they put their faith in the man who dropped us into a world of pain. The other cast-offs who work for the changing God, maybe they believe in the salvation he offers. Might be. They're not idiots in most other things, it's true, but to anyone who lies, it's clear that he's lying to them. He's leading them into death because he's too frightened to face it himself. What were the changing God's plans? To offer our lives in a mad sacrifice to stop the sorrow. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. How did the first die? choose her cheek a moment as she lived, sacrificing herself for our lives. An evil sneer creeps onto her face. She was killed in a raid, and Paj used her reality-shifting device to make it permanent. She exhales slowly, her face going carefully, studiously blank. She turns back to you. She's right, a mistake that haunts me to this day. I need to find Mazov. Is he here?
I'll remember that.
Her eyes narrow. No one has seen Mazov in over a decade. Adaris might know where he is. Talk to her, voice softens. Adaris might be the best of us. Treat her well, or I'll be sure to pay you. I'll be sure you pay in blood and pain. Tell me about Avest. She has the qualities the rest of us do not. A peaceful, idealistic nature. She wants only the best for all cast-offs. She rises above her rivalries. Her idealism is frustrating at times, but she has wisdom and insight in her gentle nature. Where are you headed now? Back to the endless battle. I've been leading our side against the forces of the coward ever since the first died. Her jaw tenses. Before you ask, my side decided the first. We're in a struggle to survive, to protect ourselves against our father's plan. The other side, they want him to win. They want more details. You want more details? Get them from someone else here. I've got a war to fight. What did you mean when you said I made the sanctuary more vulnerable? There are rumors that sorrow activity has increased recently. I don't buy the stories, but many of them do. She points a thumb behind her to the other cast-offs. Your brothers and sisters, your family. Even if the sorrow is more active, it's still active, and they came here to be safe. She sighs. I can feel your tides. I know you believe you're doing the right thing. But let me tell you this. Sometimes blindly rushing in to help people does more harm than good. The portal was sealed for a reason. Have some empathy. Be that as it may, I have important information to share. Not with me. I'm not interested in what you have to say, frankly. And I have a great deal of work waiting for me. If you want to express your delight in your new life or share a moment of happy fraternity with your siblings, I suggest you talk to Adaris. She'll give you the validation you seem to require. I have one more thing to say to you, and I want you to mark it carefully. The changing god, the coward, tends to kill us all. If you meet him, don't trust him. He's going to ruin us as surely as the sorrow. She turns and strides away. I'd wish you success, but... Yeah, well, same to you. Hope you die in the battle. What you said to Patch. You took my side. Why? Does he need my loyalty? This is a game to him. What? Because I saw what she did in Torment. She nods. Well, whatever. I appreciate it. Always good to see Patch put in her place. You might not realize it, but your words sunk in.
On it.
These are other portals. There are traces of sand on this teleport pad, and it's far warmer than the sanctuary's temperature. It smells of seawater and bone. It's not active right now. This one I can go back, okay. This man is less flesh than muscle, running in corded bands from his thick neck down his broad chest, wide arms, and calloused hands. He focuses on you, his cold eyes from your face and the shape of your tattoo to the width of your shoulders, like a prospective buyer's size of a particularly dangerous animal. Here he is, the one I've heard about, but is he a resource or a threat? Then he smiles, and it is as wide and genuine as any you've seen. The most advanced of our sire's children, here at last. I'm surprised you didn't make your way here sooner. A resource, of course, and a fine one at that, at least until he proves otherwise. Who are you? I am the Chalcedon, commander of the changing gods' forces in the endless battle. The guardian of his grand design and his champion. He raises a self-deprecating hand. Not that our sire truly needs my help, of course, but some here, in the very land he created for us, would rather acknowledge all he's done for us. He shakes his head slowly. Some of these disagreements can be resolved through debate, but not all, of course. Not all. Have you seen the changing god lately? No, but that's not unusual, he says. His strategies absorb him most of his time, which is why he leaves most of the work in the endless battle and the diplomacy in Miel Avest to me. He flashes a grin, and as you might imagine, he measures time differently than us. He chuckles. It's been a number of years since I've seen him. I doubt our sire has noticed. Has he forgotten us? Has he forgotten me? Tell me about the changing god's grand design. As you know, he moves from body to body. He does this to test the capabilities of those bodies to their fullest, to ensure their strength. And when he has done so, he gives them to us, gives us life, so that we might continue using them in service of his plans. He's like a sculptor, honing his art. He raises a finger. So you see, he's not flitting from body to body like some manner of vapid insect, which cast off is an improvement over the last. He lays a hand on your shoulder. And that means, of course, that you are the best of us, and the most suited to help end this conflict. Matkina snorts. The Chalcedon completely ignores her. Saddest, most obvious begging I've ever seen. The sorrow will find us, he says. Before that happens, we must end our conflict with each other. We must prepare our defenses. We must find some way to stop it. I'm looking for a cast-off named Mazov who can repair the resonance chamber in Sagas Cliffs. I'm assured that will stop the sorrow. Of course, he says, his eyes gleam. Our sire told me of the plans to build it. I should have known. He lays bracing hands on your shoulders. Speak to Avest if you haven't already. She will know where to find this Mazov. You're not upset that I opened the portal? Well, he says, chuckling. There's a touch of unease in it, you notice. I argued for the portal's closure to begin with, so I'm concerned that it's open again. But I trust that our sire knew what he was doing when he made you, so I have no doubt that the weakening of our defenses is a smaller part of his greater strategy. And should something happen, well, I will be safe for certain. Matkina chuckles to herself. The large man turns her way, scowling, and she holds his gaze. He is the one that looks away. Your eyes are drawn to the tattered leather robes and the profusion of tubes that wire this man. He is lighter skinned, with piercing eyes and a hideous pitted scar on his face. He could be handsome, but centuries of neglect have ravaged his looks. He sees your companion and hisses, Matkina. What about this newborn cast-off could have motivated her to come back here? Her voice is flat and measured. Melmoth, you know, I've always wondered, if you were to die, would your followers eat you? Yalin, for instance. How did that ever turn out? Yalin, Ha! That's a name I haven't heard for some time. Your old friend left an inedible corpse, probably to hide the crimes you and he had planned. Now look, you've been away for a while, and I understand your memory isn't what it was. He trails off. Did I dream someone telling me that? Was it a vision? No matter. What was I saying? Something about my memory. A trenchant and witty comment about my powers of recollection, no doubt. His only reply to her is a long and unpleasant sneer. He looks at you and says, "Travel in bad company, sibling. Anger her, and she'll find a way to scar you. Even if she leaves no other mark on the world, likely she'll leave pain. It's a mortality of a sort, I suppose." He barks out a short laugh. Cast off humor. You'll learn. Tell me about yourself. His lopsided smile seems like more of a grimace. I'm Melmoth Leviarn. I'm the creator of the Dendra O'Her, the greatest, or at least most innovative, of the brotherhoods that seek to pass along knowledge from one generation to the next. So many people back away from me because of the way I look, or the way I speak. But let me tell you that in this body, I have lived countless lives, seen endless worlds, experienced memories that beggar description. I contain worlds, and they judge me by my appearance. Sometimes I wonder who I'm saving this knowledge for. What can you tell me about the Dendra O'Her? They call us the Eater of the Dead. We take the knowledge from their fading flesh. Every life flickers and dies, and when knowledge disappears, the world grows darker. The rain of death washes away experience. I want to preserve. Each of the Dendra is a library of experience. A feral grin flickers on his mouth and vanishes. Every life that vanishes is a loss. Every person living has a story. The secret keys of histories hide there. I want truth. I want exposure. I want knowledge to live. With all your acquired knowledge, you must have a unique outlook on the endless battle.
I'll remember that.
A waste of life and a criminal waste of knowledge. The weapons being discharged are lost to us forever. Each life gone is an experience that will disappear into the mists of eternity, snuffed away, forgotten, never to be seen again. He leans in. Our sires sought to cheat death, to stop that kind of waste. It is beyond my reasoning why he'd allow the endless battle to continue. What can you tell me about the other cast-offs here? He leers an ugly smile. They're idiots and fools. They think their shields can protect them from the sorrow forever. I came here to retrieve some research, and every time I come, I think of how much knowledge is in their minds and their bodies, and I wish they would just die already so I could gain access to their wasted experiences. He scratches a small infection on his hand. On the other hand, they're the closest I have to peers. Gods, what does that say about me? I'm looking for Mazov. Him. That useless tinkerer. Why? I need him to fix a resonance chamber. He steeples his finger, lost in contemplation. A resonance chamber. I remember them. Something about the building of it. Crystal. The particulars escape me, but Mazov would be the one to fix it. He laughs softly. Too bad he's not here. Try asking Adaris.
Of course.
Look at this, the woman declares, her wayward brother in the flesh. She spreads slender hands, delicate spiderwebs of metal thread run through her fingers, studded with circular nodes that look too purposeful to be mere jewelry. The name's Ansh, she says, Lady Ansh, but don't let that scare you off. I sell rare Numenera and a place to rest at a fair price. I can also upgrade certain clothing and equipment, but that's a bit more expensive. She gives you an assessing eye. This one will have you spending money, I hope. Take a look at what I've got, she adds more quietly. My prices are high, but you look like someone who values your friends, and my work will keep them safe. She claps her ornamented hands together with a clink. So, what do you need? Do you get a lot of business in Miel Avest? Well, put it like that, no, she says, grinning. And it's not normally me doing the selling. Not like I used to. In normal times, I'm treating major customers to fancy dinners, yelling at my advisors, and sneaking in the odd bespoke order before more paperwork lands on my desk. She shrugs. But these aren't normal times. People are saying the Sorrow's on the hunt again. I don't know if it's true, but better safe than sorry. So instead of passing the time arguing like everyone else around here, I'm back to being a humble merchant, she winks. For now. My little empire can run itself for a while. I'll be back soon. You must do quite a lot of business with that endless Babylon.
I'll remember that.
I don't know, she says carefully. I don't take sides or opinions on that conflict. Bad for business. Sides. Her name is Lady Ange. Are you royalty? She says, only in the technical sense. A few years back I did a favor for a type of person who can spin titles out of thin air. I told her I only wanted the money. She insisted. She shrugs. So Lady Ange. It's opened a few stubborn doors over the years, but other than that, I don't wait around much. You don't seem upset that I opened the portal into Miel Avest. That's because closing it wasn't necessary to begin with. The shields are good enough. She rolls her eyes. Our brothers and sisters worry too much. Must run in the family. What are those wires all over your hands? Inventions of mine, she says, cobbled together from parts, of course, like everything. These beauties are wired, well, not really, but into my head. I use them to build and fix things that are really, really small. She beams at her hands. I've had them almost as long as I've been alive. Can I take a look at your Numenera? Sure, she says. Look all you want. Marble, impressively labeled canister, blood of the elements, permanent +1 resistance. It's pretty awesome. Permanent. I might buy that. Chuckling Shroud. That's pretty damn good. Spray Flush, Vareth. You recognize this ring fragment. It's called Vareth, or Wisdom, Chain, and is one half of the artifact known as the Shadow Ring. You recall that this artifact belonged to a cast-off though their identity escapes you. You remember only that the changing god himself sundered this ring at the height of a cold rage and infused the chaff with mutually repellent energies. They have been separated from each other ever since. The changing god went through immense trouble to separate these two rings. It must be possible to reunite them. And I have the other half. I should probably buy this. I can even afford it. Runic Blade of Toll the Norn. Heavy melee weapon. 10 physical damage, 10 energy damage. Damn. The jagged rune-like script etched into the gray-black blade is dark, deep red hue. Any eyes that linger too long on the strange letters are rewarded at first with discomfort and then with ever-increasing pain. Rather than any measure of understanding, upon touching the weapon for the first time, it grants an image of a long-lost, wondrous place, imbuing a sense of smoldering betrayal and tremendous loss. The immense power of the blade is self-evident, but the havoc and pain it brings to foes seems to stay with it, and its bearer as a lingering cloud of guilty remembrance. It's a damn powerful weapon, and its might base, which would be great for Eritus. Shield, Living Exuvia. Wait a minute. Why am I wearing reactive plate? I thought I bought different armor. Did I screw up? No wonder my... Man, wow, I must have been hallucinating or something. Shit. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna have to change out my armor at some point. At least it doesn't, and minus 30% on esoteric attacks. Wow. That's terrible armor for me. Let's sell some oddities. Get rid of this blade too. I definitely want this ring. I can even afford this blade for Eratus. Sell this great sword. And this oddity. No, hold on, is it useful? It is. I'm not gonna sell it. Anybody else have anything? I'm gonna sell his healing sword. I guess I can't because it's. I need to put it there first. Then I'm gonna buy this blade of Toll.
I wish I had more hands.
Sweet.
Eratus? A word. Why, yes, it is. So clever.
Alright, let's level up. Extra effort. Level up brain. Increase her intellect edge. Eratus, extra effort. And he's up to tier 3. Skirmish Spectacle. Whenever Eratus lands a critical hit with a melee weapon, confer Daze to all enemies in immediate range of him. Active 1 round. When Eratus lands a powerful blow, his aura flares, blinding his enemies and giving them a moment to consider how outmatched they really are. Alright, and I get one of these. Hook. Snare a target with your grappling hook towards you. A chain, a hook, and an unbalanced enemy. It's all you need to ruin somebody's day. You throw a chain around your target and drag your foe stumbling within range of your attacks. That'd be damn useful. Successive attacks. When you kill an enemy, immediately make a bonus attack against the nearest enemy in range without moving. Applies to both melee and ranged attacks. You're not done yet. After killing an enemy, you can turn your fury on another target without pausing for breath. Sweet. And Brawler. Ignore the flanked fetal when surrounded by enemies. You're never surrounded. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. That's also very useful since generally speaking, I want to put him right. He's my meat shield. I want to put him right into a bunch of enemies. We'll go with successive attacks. Weapon to increase. This runic blade is a heavy melee. Alright. Alright, we'll leave off here and we'll look for Avest and then Mazov next time.